Hang on, guys, when we start, okay? Hang on, guys. Didn't wait. That's me. Didn't wait. You gotta wait. Gotta wait. And good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Enhanced Sports Show. It's just after 4 o'clock in the New York City area, New York, New Jersey, that is. And welcome to the Enhanced Sports Show. And if it's your first time calling, you picked a great day to join us, as it's a special show that I'm going to mention. First, let me take a roll call first before while we're all still here. All right, Steve. Good, good. More of that later. Mike, Alan, is that you? All right, Matt, Mike. Okay, Matthew, somebody from Cleveland. Jimmy's here, and Parsippany, New Jersey's here. I know the number, even though it's not New Parsippany, it's next door, but we get the idea. All right, okay, you guys, I kept your suspense long enough. I'll get right to it. This marks a special day for me because it was this week, 10 years ago. Some of you already know this, by the way. 10 years ago this week, I ventured into the world of podcasting for the very first time. Those of you who remember, I know some of you are saying, Louis, you've only been doing this for the last 5 years. You're half right. I've been doing this show for the last 5 years as host, as some of you know. But I started this 10 years ago. Those of you remember my original co-host Eric. We did a show together locally with another guy, Rashawn Madre, who hopefully will be coming on today. And we started a show um, over at organization still a part of somewhat, and we did a radio show once a week locally. We did get some calls in, but basically we were just doing like our own version of Sports Center, to say the least. And we did about topics and stuff. We got a little wacky at times, but that was part of the fun of the whole thing. And I think if Eric was here, he'd be proud of this of what we've done with the show today. And I want to thank everyone who was supported me, put up with me for the last 10 years. Wow, 10 years! It's amazing. To take a line from the Grateful Dead song, "What a long, strange trip it's been," and it has, and the ride and the trip is not over by any means at all. Lord willing, hopefully I'll be here for another 10 years. So I just want to thank everybody. This is my way of saying thank you, everybody who has supported me for all these years. Because to be honest, when I first did this 10 years ago, I didn't think it was going to last 10 minutes, but luckily I have, and it has been a joy ever since. and I'm going to keep going for as long as I possibly can. So thank you. Okay, so enough of my rambling. Let's get on with some business here. All right. First of all, anybody catch the NBA Finals, which ended on Monday night, besides me? Okay, okay, we got some here. All right. I know that 973 did not. Sorry. Right, right. But I kind of thought that it was Denver's series to win all the way. I mean, yes, I'll give Miami credit for making a series of it, even winning in game two. Actually, I thought they're gonna win game three because I thought they went home. Hold it. 973, you can come back now. Oh boy. And to be honest, but I really thought it was Denver's series for the taking. You know, they took over. They won in 5 games, just like I thought. And Jamal Murray, had the big game of his life when in the fourth quarter. And DeAndre Murray, DeAndre Jordan, he got his first ring finally. He said, "Go out there and win. We got 12 minutes left in your history and immortal." Oh yeah, Murray and the Joker, and I guess he called to history as they came up with their first championship win in all the years they've been playing, which is 47 years. Can you believe that? It took you 47 years to finally win a title. Well, first of all, congratulations. You deserved it. I knew they got to beat Miami, to be honest with you. Okay. Okay, 973, are you there? Okay. Folks, for those of you who do remember, this is my mom, and I want her to come in today. And I want to thank Mom for helping me get through this. It's been a long 10 years, hasn't it, Mom? Thank you, thank you, thank you. And by the and before I also forget, happy Dads and Grads Week too. It's Father's Day tomorrow, and to all the graduates out there who'll be graduating this week, if they haven't done so already. So I wanted to acknowledge that. To continue on, 47 years it took you when your first child. Well, congratulations. Second of all, what took you so long? You know, you had an I wouldn't say it was an easy playoff to get there, but they poured it out, they sweat it out, and like I said, I think Miami they knew it was there. They were destined to win it, especially when you have a supporting group with the Nuggets cast, and they were just able to ease it through Miami. So to continue on, now that Murray and Jokic have a title, Murray said they hope they can still win more championships to come. Well, in this day and age, though, that's kind of hard to do. Everybody's like break up the team, free agency, and whatnot. So it does make it kind of hard, in this day and age, to continue on, winning championships. We don't seem to have really many dynasty teams anymore. Okay, maybe the Warriors, for the last have done it, but for the most part, it hasn't been that one team has been the dominating factor in all the major sports, not just basketball, but the NBA, NHL. All right, if you want to count the Patriots, yeah, go ahead. Yuck. But anyway, it's very difficult to do in this day and age. So he said, "I knew once we became healthy, we could win it," said Murray. That's true. He told ESPN in the locker room celebration as they broke out the champagne. Finally healthy and whole, which you better be in the playoffs. Joey and Murray proved to be a tandem their opponents could not contain this postseason. Here's the interesting fact, guys. They became the first dynamic duo to average 25 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists in the postseason. That's been done a lot in the regular season, but not the postseason. Jovic scored 10 of his 28 points in the fourth and became Finals MVP. He was 12 for 16 shots in Game 5 when scoring was a premium, and he also had 16 rebounds and 4 assists. And the Heat, they just got lost in it and couldn't find any solutions for stopping Jovic. And here's another note. He is the first player to lead all players in points, rebounds, and assists in a single postseason. Get these numbers, guys. 600 points, 279 rebounds, and 190 assists in the postseason. And a partridge in a pear tree. So it was no wonder why they became a dominating factor in this postseason. And I for one predicted it was going to be 5 games. Of course, I got in the wrong order. I said they were going to win game two. I mean, that the Nuggets are going to win game two, and Miami will win game three. That got reversed. But basically, I was right in a sense. It went in 5 games, just a little bit of reverse order. Nevertheless, it's a Rocky Mountain High for the Denver Nuggets. Oh no, oh boy. All right, so Steve, your thoughts on the Nuggets as champions? Hold on, Jen. Yeah, okay, right. We'll get to that in a minute. We'll get to that in a minute. Boy, the Jokers are wild today, aren't they, guys? Oh boy. On the All right, we got a call from New Jersey as well. If I don't take this call, I'm a goner. So forgive me going out of order today, but I gotta take this call from. Well, it's not exactly Hackensack. It's East Hanover. I know the number anyway. All right, sis, go ahead. Thank you. I will, Kelly, and thank you. It took you 6 years ago. Thank you. Thanks, Ron. That means a lot. And happy Father's Day tomorrow as well. Yes, thank you. Well, thanks, Kelly. It means a lot. Yes, guys, this is my sister. Great, and Starman was actually here a little while ago. She was actually here. Uh, I think she was. Yes, I'll explain it later. Okay, but all right. You can stay on if you want. If you have a comment you want to make, go ahead because we cover all sports here. Uh, it's baseball season, to be pretty honest with you. Yes, yes. Okay, okay. All right. And yes, folks, that is my sister, and I thank her for that. All right. So, Matthew, your thoughts on the Nuggets becoming champions finally? Right. Uh, yes. Right. Yeah. Right. I'll give you that. Mikey, the Nuggets, the Nuggets finally winning a championship. Denver Nuggets. Denver Nuggets. Yes, it was. Jimmy, by the way, welcome back. Right. Yes. But the Joker was the MVP. Yes, but the Joker was the MVP, of course. Although he didn't win the regular season title, though. It was going for his third straight, but he made up for it. In this finals, you knew he was going to get something out of it. So he scored 28 points and 16 rebounds and 4 assists to give the Nuggets the championship. And like I said, the Heat, no answers. Yeah, but Joe, is one of the best players. Where do you think? Let me ask Alan. Where do you think Joe ranks now? With this first title, in addition to all his other accomplishments. Throughout his career. Alan, thank you, Alan. Right, absolutely. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. 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 No. Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's been a lot of talk about who the MVP was going to be Joel Embiid, the Greek Freak, and hard to figure out who it's going to be. But Isaiah Thomas said this right now: "You're the champ, and you're the best team with a title. You're the best player." And that came from his mouth. Now, here's the interesting thing, guys. Joic was not a first round selection. He was selected 41st in the second round of the 2014 draft, and it was the lowest draft pick to win Finals MVP. Now, how about that? Shocking, isn't it? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I guess to put it this way, the Joker's wild. Oh no. Okay. If Diane was here, I know what she would say though, but she'll be only in a little while. I know what she would say. I know. Oh, you guys aren't gonna make me say it, are you? Oh my goodness, you are. Okay, Joker, Joker, Joker. Of course. Uh, how do I get myself into this? I have no idea. Okay, now on the flip side of that, though, with celebration becomes also a bit of disaster because right after the game, well, a few hours after, there was a there was a tragic incident. Well, there was an incident that happened after the game, as you probably read from my notes, that there was an incident involving 9, 10 people were shot early Tuesday morning when after fans were celebrating Nuggets' first championship, and police took the suspect into custody. The shooting took place around 12:30 local time, 2:30 a.m. here, which is three and a half, which is 3.5 hours after the game was completed. 3 people were in critical condition, said by the Denver police. Easy on the volume, guys. Easy. The suspect was a male and was one of 6 people that who were injured, but the injuries were not life threatening. The shooting happened outside the Bell Arena, where the Nuggets won the championship in 5 games over the Heat. As far as what led to this altercation, the resulting shots being fired is being investigated. They still don't know at this time. The shooting did occur when they had the largest gathering of people celebrating the Nuggets championship. A small crowd was in the area at the time of the shooting, said spokesperson Doug Shipman, but diminished quite a bit at that point. He said he was shooting in the area where there were a lot of people coming out of bars after the game, and the police were interviewing witnesses at that time. Described the investigation as expansive. Guys, whatever happened to a time when we all used to celebrate and we're happy about it, and we didn't cause any trouble rioting or going off crazy and start shooting people? I mean, can anybody celebrate with any sense anymore? I mean, this is ridiculous. It's one thing to go out celebrating and get a little wild and stuff, but not to be destructive, destroy public property, and start a shooting gallery with other people. I mean, that this is ridiculous. Whatever happened to the good old days of celebrating? I can only imagine. He might have been. He might have been or had a history of mental problems, which is normally the case. That's happened. because that's happened also with another incident I'm going to bring up a little bit later on involving the Stanley Cup championship because that also happened with a problem. Much prior before the game. Why can't these people, you know, act sensibly after the game or even before the game without going berserk and trying to cause bodily harm to a group of people? I just don't get it. Yeah, I know. No, it's okay. But still, that doesn't make any sense at all. Why they go out and do this. I know there are no easy answers to it. Well, actually, there is. Just don't bring a gun and whatnot. But you know, you're in a public area. People are trying to celebrate, and somebody has to go ruin it and make it into a tragedy. Excuse my ranting, of course, but it's ridiculous. It's insane. We just hope that these people are okay, and hopefully they can find more calmer ways to celebrate. Were we like that when the Rangers won the championship? No. When the Yankees won all their championships? No. Hey, Ralph. I know. I bet you're happy last night when Boston blew them out. Yes, of course. I know. So, Ralph, what was thanks, Ralph? What was your thought on the NBA Finals, especially with Denver winning it all? Haha. Yes, I hate the Celtics. Yeah, you can't. No. You can't buy a championship. That's what I'm saying. You can't buy a championship. Contrary to popular belief, you think, oh, well, we get this player, we get that player, we're gonna win the championship next year. No, if your player is not performing, I don't care what you're paying him. If you're not striking out, batters, or if you're not hitting home runs, you're not gonna win. If you're not producing rebounds and points in basketball, you're not gonna win. It doesn't matter who you get; it's how they perform. Talent, talent wins. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. Huh. Ooh. Yes. Yeah. Right. But my point is though, guys, that talent wins championships, not money. Okay, you need talent to win. Yeah, you can get money to get the talent, but it's the talent that wins, not how much money the person makes. That's what wins championships. Okay, That's what I'm trying to think. Uh, yeah. Brett, is that all right? Thank you, Alan. All right. From Trenton, New Jersey. Would you state your name, please, just for the record? Trenton. Wait, Brett? Brett. Okay, there we are. And Virginia. Say your name for the record, please. Oh, Marilyn from Rasol's show. Oh, nice to join. Nice to join us. Nice to you to join us first time. Yes, Marilyn is part of Rasol's show on Saturdays, which is coming up right after this show. I've been a part of it too, and I'm glad that you're all. I'm glad you're here. How is Rasol, by the way? Sure. Yeah. So I was making a comment. Yeah. So I was making a comment. Oh, okay, never mind. So, Meryl, I was just making a comment of, of what it takes to, build a championship. And I was just saying, everybody's like, oh, how everybody's trying to buy a championship. No, you can't buy a championship. It takes talent to win. You can get the talent to get the players, and you sign the contracts, but it takes the talent to win. Not how much money a single player makes. That's not going to win you a championship. Talent and skill wins the team a championship. Yes, Brett. But they have to have the talent also to win it, Brett. You just can't build a championship by players alone. You have to they have to have the talent to win. But it's a big part of it. Yes. Yes, but it's all related though. Talent, chemistry, skill. It's all part of it though, Maryland. Just getting who you think is the best player. Oh, we're gonna sign this guy to a 5 year, 172 gazillion dollar contract. Oh, we're guaranteed to win. Wrong. You're not. Doesn't matter much if you're not performing. I don't care what your name is, what you're making. Doesn't matter. That's irrelevant. That is irrelevant to winning a title. Hmm. Yeah. Right. Yes. Right. Exactly. Right. All right. So, right. So now we'll move on to the ice. The Golden Knights won their first title, the youngest expansion team ever to win a Stanley Cup title. They won it, and they did it in only their sixth year. They could have done it in their first year, but I think maybe they were pushing their luck a bit as the Capitals just took over. Um, Bill Foley said it was his plan to win the cup in 6 years, and behold, they did. Tuesday night fulfilled the prophecy as the Knights blew out the Panthers in a sham of a game, 9-3 in Game Five. Nine, all right, look, I'll admit there was problems. I mean, 9-3 in a final. I mean, that's the worst game we've seen in 27 years when the Avalanche blew out the Panthers in Game Five. That was bad enough. I mean, but the Panthers just looked flat. All right, they won Game Three, sent to overtime, but basically this was the Knights, opportunity to win right there. Mark Stone had a hat Back Mark Stone had a hat trick. That was the clincher right there. Center Jack Eschel made 3 assists, and goaltender Aiden Hill made 32 saves and made Sergei Bobrovsky look like a schoolboy, pretty much. Oh yeah. It, Jonathan Marshall was in the Conn Smythe Trophy winner and was a postseason MVP. Now, I'll admit, I think there was a problem because the Panthers were missing, some key players, especially one by the name of Matthew Tkachuk. Now, I'll say this: I don't think the Panthers would have won if Tkachuk would have been in that game, but I don't think the score would have been 9-3. I mean, because Tkachuk is a great player, like his dad was, Keith, way back in the day. But that game was like over like 10 minutes into the first period. I mean, they looked flat. Their defense was poor, and it just looked like they forgot to show up. It was embarrassing. I mean, that was like one of the worst for a finals game. That was weak, by Florida. That doesn't, as for those of you who saw it. I mean, let me get some thoughts though. Let me see. Who was our Jimmy? Yeah, Jimmy's a big hockey fan here, so let's take his comments first. No offense, guys. No offense to anybody else. No offense. Yeah, right. Yes, it did, and they stepped up when it counted. Uh, okay, we got another call from Washington. Would you state your name, please? Thanks. You know, I think maybe I should have done a bit of introduction. Like the Flintstones anniversary thing. Happy anniversary, happy anniversary. Never mind. Oh boy, it doesn't take me much to get me started. Guys, you should know one thing. It doesn't take much to get me started leading into a joke, no matter how bad it is. Oh boy. All right, so yeah. So and yeah, okay, so we'll take your thoughts. Yeah, we'll take your thoughts on. Yeah. All right, yeah. Okay, so anyone else have any thoughts on the on the NHL Stanley Cup Final? Matt, Matthew. Yes, yes, it was their time. I mean, 6 years, when you really think about it, it's pretty quick for an expansion team because most teams, who come in, 6 years are still trying to find themselves as a unit, and it takes a while to build up a championship team. But Vegas was not your typical expansion team. They had experienced players who've been on Stanley Cup teams before and won, and they were lucky enough, well, I shouldn't say lucky, fortunate enough to bring that over to Vegas, and that's how they got to be where they are. So this was not an average team like, a bunch of college kids or first or second year players coming over. This was an experienced team, and they brought it, and they won it, and deservedly so. Right, Mikey? Mhm. Steve, your thoughts? I know, I know. Yes, yeah. Well, let's ask Ralph. I know he didn't. I don't think he follows hockey that much, but I'm sure he does pay attention to the games that really matter. So, your thoughts, Ralph, on the Stanley Cup championship of the Knights? Well, I don't know how closely you follow hockey, but I think you pay attention to like the big championship games. Yes. Ah, even before. Oh, a flying goal. Yes. Right. No. Yes. Right. Yeah. Right. Right. You're gonna say that again. Yeah, yeah. And what's in Vegas is staying in Vegas and beyond. Oh, no. Okay. Well, you get the you Hey, Gerald, any thoughts on the championship teams that we just discussed? 47. No. I knew they're gonna win, man. I knew they're gonna win. All right. And Martin, yeah. Yes. Thank you. And Jonathan Marchessault was the Conn Smythe Trophy winner and was one of the original six to win this team after being credited as being called a bunch of misfits. Misfits? Really? Come on. Yeah, they were called the six misfits. Now that's a little insulting, I think, don't you think? Oh yeah, yeah. We'll get to USFL in a little bit. So yeah, and I'll be walking in Memphis. So Marshall had a short lived at the top for points in the standings, but that was short lived, but still, nonetheless, a great run. He finished with 25 points overall, was first with 13 goals and second in points overall in the postseason with a game five assists from Nicholas Haig. Wow. Jonathan Marchessault, I believe had the most points with 26. So this was quite a team, and congratulations to that. I haven't heard anything though on odds for next year. I'm still waiting on that. Well, I'll bring it up next week then, just to let you know, because that's what we do around here. Well, they come out with it early, guys. They really do. Mikey, everything okay? Mike, hold on a second. Oh, okay. Either there's an early Fourth of July celebration, or there's a train derailment going on. I know. Let's face it. You hate the Yankees as much as I hate the Red Sox. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, right. Okay. So anyway, we'll move on to yeah, why don't we move on to the golf circuit now as the US Open is being played as we speak. Ricky Fowler had an historic day on Thursday, 8 under 62 in the first round, and then shot a 60 in the second round. And it was the lowest in quite some time. McIlroy and Scheffler are two strokes back at the end of day two. Right now, I'm going to go to that game. Where are we now? In this, because it's a major, folks, and I pay attention to the majors in the golf circuit. Fowler is 10, yeah, is 10 strokes minus 10. He is one stroke ahead of Wyndham Clark at 131, and Scheffler is two back at Scheffler and McIlroy are both two back at 9 and 8. So it's a pretty good race so far as Fowler is trying to win a major here. But this looks like a pretty good matchup right here. So we'll keep our eyes on that. The scorecard felt like a roller coaster. Fowler continued his chaotic yet impressive round. Yesterday, he made 8 birdies, 4 pars, and 6 bogeys in the second round. How do you manage so 8 birdies? That's all I want to know. Diane is here. Hi, Di. Oh, we got quite a group here. We got quite a group here. Okay. So what did you make of the Stanley Cup Finals and NBA Finals, Die? Okay. So the US Open is going on currently as we speak, and it looks to be a pretty good, interesting final so far. But I want to turn your attention to what happened with yeah, the commissioner Jay Monahan is recovering from an undisclosed medical condition set by the tour policy board, but he does seem to be feeling better. So we'll keep our eye on that. So right now, Fowler is at first. Clark and Schiffer. Clark is one behind. Schiffer is two behind with McIlroy. Uh, we got some McIlroy fans in the house, right, guys? Yeah, I'm one of them too. But I'm pulling for Fowler here. I think I'll ignore the comment. I'll ignore. Okay, I'm a Fowler fan myself, so and a McIlroy. But I just wish if Phil was playing. That's my favorite golfer right there, Phil Mickelson. No joke. Yeah. All right. So now on. Yeah. All right. So on to more strange news here. Oh, and one more thing: the Canucks have brought the contract to defenseman Oliver Ekman Larsson, making him an unrestricted free agent. He had 4 years left on his 8-year, $66 million deal that he signed in 2018 as a member of the Coyotes. Oh boy. The Canucks bought out, spending spending 8 years. The Canucks taking on 80% of the cost, while the Coyotes had the remaining 12%. Larson received 19.5 million dollars for the life of the buyout. Okay, and the Rangers, yeah, 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 and the Rangers, they got a new coach. Where is that article? Yeah, but the Rangers do have a new coach, and they'll be ready to. So I'm happy. I'm happy about that. Because we did well, but we could have went further in the playoffs. They were being by the New Jersey Devils, which I'm sure that some people are proud of here. Ha ha. Need I say more, right? Yeah. They hired Peter Laviolette as their next head coach. The team announced on Wednesday he agreed to a 3-year deal with the blue shirts, as I call them. Laviolette has coached for 21 years in the league, mostly with who, Steve? Peter Laviolette. Who is he coach for, Steve? Thank you. I was waiting for your cue. Okay. The Capitals did not renew his contract after missing the playoffs. The Rangers will be his fifth team, and he will coach in the Metro Division after having coached the Islanders, the Hurricanes are in the center in another division, and the Flyers. He has 70. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Uh, and also he has more wins than any other U.S. born coach with 752. That's eighth overall in the National Hockey League. So congratulations. Now maybe he can win a cup next year. I hope. I hope. Well, that'd be nice. Yeah, I know. I know. It's been 20 years, Die. That's a long time. That's a long time. That's a long time to win a cup. Yeah, that's a very long time to win a cup. Well, going between cups, that is. So anyway, just to go back on Monahan, Monahan's under intense scrutiny after the PGA's Tour's stunning announcement last week, in forming an alliance with the DP, the LAV Golf League, and which is backed by Saudi Arabia. The historic deal was orchestrated without the knowledge of the PGA Tour members. That includes members of the Player Advisory Council and Policy Board. Well, that's not right. I mean, I think you should let all the people know. You're in charge of it. Yeah. Okay. So on to other hockey news here, because this I kind of find kind of disturbing, as another incident happened with the celebration. But the thing is, though, this happened before the game. Let me just. Okay, here we go. Hours before Game 5 against the Knights and the Panthers on Tuesday at T-Mobile Arena, they arrested a man who was threatening to pull up a mass shooting at the arena. Listen to this, guys. An arrest reported an arrest report released on Thursday by the Metro Police identified the suspect as Matthew DeSavo and described by detectives as a man with a history of mental illness and arrest that would cause a reasonable person to feel terrorized, frightened, intimidated, fearful, etc., etc. The lawyer who commented on DeSavo's behalf was not listed in jail or court records as of Thursday night. In a series of rambling text messages, and they were rambling, phone calls and social media posts, etc., on Tuesday, according to the report, the suspect threatened to shoot up the hockey game against the Panthers that would rival against the Panthers in night that would rival a mass shooting that took place in October 2017 on the Vegas Strip. 60 people perished that night. It would rival the shooting, Maryland, because there was a shooting. I think it was at a country music festival in that night, and fans were like, yeah, no, no, it was not Matthew Wilder. Believe me, I know it wasn't. I knew it was Matthew Wilder. No, DeSilvo, that was his name. Yeah. Okay, so continue on. Okay, at least three people. Oh yeah, the game had to be stopped in stoppage time because of somebody was shouting, some comments that not going to be said on this show, but I get the idea. We'll get to that in a few minutes. I mean, that was another inexcusable. Yeah, exactly, very inexcusable for that to happen. Like I said, why can't the fans just like civilized? That's the thing. Okay, so three people contacted the police. Yeah, yes, but Cinco de Mayo is right, but Cinco de Mayo is over. Oh no. Okay, so three people contacted the police about the suspect hours before his arrest on Tuesday. The 911 calls included an acquaintance from grade school. Okay, fine. Who told police that DeSilvo had been stalking her for years, as well as a relative with a restraining order against him. Okay, now we're really in trouble. Court records show that DeSilvo's arrest dates back to 2014 on charges stemming from domestic battery and stalking. Most recently, he was arrested in October for a felony charge on active terrorism or mass destruction. This guy is a real sicko, if you ask me. This guy is nuts. And yet you let him in. I mean, really, these guys. Yeah, I beg to differ. Yeah, yes, they should be gone. I mean, their security should be on top of everything, Di. You're right. But sometimes they don't seem to be. Security needs to be on top of these things more because there's no excuse for this to happen. No. Okay, so as Marilyn was mentioning, the U.S. men's soccer team, who won 3-0 over Mexico, halted before completion of stoppage time in the second half, as the official amid anti-gay chanting. Oh boy, referee Ivan Barton, who was already handed out 4 red cards in the game in one game. Wow, applause in the 89th minute for these chants. Yeah, I'd never seen that before. Her chants heard from the crowd at the stadium in Vegas. Play resumed with 4 minutes left in stoppage time. Barton drew the final whistle after a goal kick by U.S. Goalkeeper Matt Turner. I said Matt Turner now. I didn't say anybody else. Once again, was greeted with anti-gay chants. CONUF, which is the league organization, told ESPN after the match that not to abandon the game because of federation protocols regarding the chant, but at the official discretion. The governing body said in a statement that CONCACAF condemns the chanting by some fans in the stadium. Chants heard during the match between U.S. and Mexico led to activation of the discrimination protocol by match officials. Additional security ejected some fans for engaging in such absurd behavior. Well, good. You should have taken care of that though a little bit further than that. Exactly. Yeah. Oh boy. Right. Exactly. I mean, where are we getting these? But people, where are these fans coming from? These people are, you know, have some kind of like disorder with them, and yet they come into the stadiums, arenas, and they cause havoc. You know, for our sports teams. It's no wonder why people are so afraid to go to games anymore. You know, yeah, it is. It's getting too much. Exactly. You're right. But something has to be done. I mean, this is not the way. Yeah. Correct. Yes. Yes. Europe, though, yes. But in Europe, they do. Right. Yeah. Right. As they should. Anybody else have any thoughts on this? Anyone else have any thoughts? All right, then I'll move on. Okay. So, and by the way, speaking of soccer, Lionel Messi says he's done with World Cup play. He will not return in 2026. Gerald, wake up. All right, whoever it is, can you stop snoring, please? All right. Sorry, I did not mean. Okay. By the way, does anybody follow? Well, I can say is tennis. Anyone? The men's French Open final ended on Sunday, and Djokovic won his record-breaking 23rd Grand Slam title. He's one ahead now of Rafael Nadal and Roger Federer in good company. He beat Casper Rund, or I should say the friendly ghost, in 3 sets in a match that took Diane Guy, good. In 3 sets that took over 3 hours to complete. After a shaky start, which he did in the thick, humid air, he managed to impose himself and come away with the win. Nadal actually congratulated the Joker on his record-breaking victory. The Joker won his third French Open title, making him the only player to win at least three from every major event, and is halfway to completing the calendar Grand Slam. That means winning all four majors in the same year. Rod Laver was the only one who did it way back when, in 1969. He shot. Now he had a shot in 2021 as he won Australia, French, and Wimbledon, and but lost in the finals to Medvedev. So that was the only thing that was stopping him right there. Hang on a second. Yes, yes, of course. What a shame. Oh, okay. Yeah, it wasn't mentioned at the time of the report, but I thank you for clearing that up. Just a shame that 28 years old, and could have had a bright future ahead of him, and just a shame to happen something like that so young. And our condolences go out to the Lewis family. Uh, Mike, are you okay? Mike, Mike. Hmm. Yeah, he's got. There's something wrong with the phone too. I think. Yeah, there's something wrong with his phone. Not surprised. Yeah. Thankfully, okay, we gotta move on, guys. We gotta move on. Just ignore that. There's gotta be something wrong with. There's gotta be something wrong with this line. We're not. All right. And Tiger Woods, well, he's not his run this year is probably over. He's not going to participate in next month's British Open. I mean the Open. Sorry. Um, we've been advised that Tiger will not play at Royal Liverpool, said by a spokesman of R&A. I wish him the best in recovery. The shortened Masters appearance was his only appearance at a major this season. Earlier this year, he underwent surgery to fuse an ankle um, to alleviate pain after playing in the Genesis Invitational tournament that was back in January. I think it was January or February, and the Masters. He made a cut at the Masters, but dropped out after aggravating a previous plantar fasciitis in his right foot, the same injury that caused him to withdraw from the World Hero Challenge back in February. As for when he'll return, it's not meant to be said. Guys, I don't know, but I think Tiger is done with golf unless maybe the senior tour. I think he's got to be done. Yeah, but not as good as his dad. That's a lot. That's a lot to live up to. You know, when your father's like was the greatest golfer in the world and whatnot. Just like LeBron's trying to get his son to play. It's a lot to live up to when you got to play against up against your father or your mother, whoever was the best athlete. So that's a lot to live up to. Yeah. No, no, no. The young no Tiger Woods' son died. That's got to be a lot to live up to trying to compare against your dad. I forget his name though, but they play in the Hero Challenge together. Okay, that's fine. But it is a lot to live up to. So I just hope that he'd be able to do that. I wish the boy luck. Yeah, yeah, that's not exactly golf material. No, I mean that was. I mean that was a lot of bleh, you know. Right. Yeah. Okay. On to some. I know we don't normally cover this, but this was also a major because it was the last race of the Triple Crown at the Belmont Stakes that happened last week. History was made as Jenna Antoconi became the first female trainer to win the Belmont. That's right, the first female trainer. How do you like that? After the horse, after the horse crossed the finish line, Antoconi doubled over her chair and her head in the back of her chair and kissed the horse when returned to the arena in front of the winner's circle. Uh, Arcangelo finished the 1.5 mile race at 2 minutes and 29 seconds by 1.5 lengths over Forte, who was favored to win the favorite. And Tapit, and there were two horses named Tapit that finished second and third. So I know we don't cover this much, but what do we make of this historic event where a female trainer actually won? How about that, guys? Anybody can answer here. That's remarkable. Yeah. I mean, this isn't. I mean, this is not the first. No, it isn't. I mean, I don't think it's the first time a female trainer has ever been involved in this, but it is the first win by a female trainer. So, you know, but regardless, congratulations. Just remarkable. Yeah. I mean, I wasn't aware that myself that that the female trainer was in there, but nonetheless, when I heard about it, that's historical, and hopefully we'll see what happens next year. But of course, no Triple Crown winner again this year. It's, I think it's going to be a while before we see that again. Yeah, you don't see it every year. Let's get that straight right now. You won't see it every year. Yeah, it's a rare thing, people. All right. Okay, on to some ridiculous items here. Mike, you got a big problem. I know it is, and it's the phone problem. Okay, okay, he's gone. Yeah, I know what the problem is. All right. So anyway, back we go. We had another unfortunate incident yesterday as Patriots cornerback Jack Jones was arrested after two firearms were found in his luggage at Logan Airport yesterday. I am familiar with that airport, by the way. Yes. So Jones will be arraigned next week in East Boston court. His bail was set at a mere $50,000. We were notified that Jones was arrested at Logan Airport. We are in the process of gathering information, and unfortunately, will not make any further comments at this time until the investigation has been completed. Jones was charged with two counts of the following offenses. According to police, one was carrying a concealed weapon in a secure area and possession of ammunition without firearm identification. That's a no-no right there. There's card carrying a loaded firearm, and possession of a large feeding device. Jones was drafted in the fourth round out of ASU in 2022. His season was cut short in December for violating team rules. Just what we need in the NFL. Another troublemaker, of course. Morant's another problem. Let me bring yeah, yeah. I mean, who just said something about Morant? Okay, let me tell you something. He got a 25 game suspension from Commissioner Adam Silver. Look, I agree he needs to be suspended, but come on, I think it was too soft. 25 games for what he's done, not to mention being a repeat offender, is just way too soft a suspension. He should have got at least 50. If it was me, he would get 30 years to life in prison. But I know I'm being a little bit harsh, but his basketball career should be over. Die, you're right. But the thing is that he said he wouldn't do it again. Which gave him an 8 game suspension. So what did he do again? He pulls up on Instagram video showing, a weapon, even though it probably wasn't loaded, but he did it again anyway. Hernandez, yes, I do. Right, exactly. It was stupid, which was a shame. Nobody can cover up like that. No. Yes. So to update you on this story, okay. The Grizzlies suspended Moran from all team activities on May 14th after a video circulated on social media, which is also a bad thing, and showed the troubled All Star brandishing a firearm. Oh boy. The NBA did suspend Morant for 8 games back in March and was seen holding a firearm on Instagram Live. Now, why in the world would you want to do that in the first place? And this was while he was intoxicated at a Denver area club. What a dope. Morant's poor decision making to hold the firearm is alarming, and this contendering, given similar conduct in March, where it was already spent 8 games, said by Commissioner Adam Silver in the statement. Under the circumstances, we believe that a 25 game suspension is appropriate and makes it clear that his reckless and irresponsible behavior with guns will not be tolerated. I still think it's too soft. 25 games is nothing. He should have got more than that. The suspension will come with conditions upon his return, said the league. For Morant, he will need to take a back seat to basketball right now, said Silver. Morant will be required to formulate and fulfill a program with the league that directly addresses the circumstances that led him to his destructive behavior. As a result, he is also ineligible to participate in any public league or team activities, including preseason games, while he is suspended. Rightfully so. What an idiot. Okay, and I found something a few days ago. Now, okay, we all know that the Oakland A's are a miserable team and a miserable excuse for a baseball team, right? Right. But have you ever found out that somebody would pay $180 for parking to go watch the Oakland A's? My question is why? I mean, they're not going to go anywhere. You would pay $180 for a ticket for the Oakland A's. I imagine maybe they're good, but I mean, this team was just beyond pathetic. A hundred, a hundred. Yes, yes. Too little, too late, guys. You're losing your team anyway. So what's the point of protesting now? They're going to Vegas. They passed the bill, and Oakland is going to Vegas next year or two. So all your efforts are meaningless at this point. Where were you years ago? When your team was actually good. I know Oakland's is a kind of like a dumping ground for the sports arenas, but still, you let your team down. You didn't show up, and now you're gonna protest and want them back. Sorry, doesn't work in my book, buddy. You lost. Yeah, but you blew it, guys. You lost your team, and it's a sad statement though for Oakland because now all their teams are gone. The Raiders are. You do. Yes, you do. I mean, yes, I know, I know. Yes, back him up. I mean, right? Because look, I mean, You lost the Raiders. Um, you're losing the A's now. You lost the Warriors to your neighbor, San Francisco. You had a hockey team, but that was in the I think the WHA, so we'll let that slide. But Oakland wants to, a great sports town, and now it's nothing. It's been reduced to rubble. Boy, it is a shame. You know, and Vegas is now the happening sports town. Yeah. By the way, I made a slight mistake in my comments a few days ago. I said that um, the Denver Nuggets, the Vegas Golden Knights were the first pro team to win a championship. No, I take that back. It was actually the Vegas Aces who did it last year. I know a lot of people thinking, "Oh, come on, do we really count the WNBA?" Well, I do, so I will give them credit for that. But so they are actually the second team to win a championship for Vegas, but did it in such a short time. I mean, that's remarkable in itself. Yeah, I mean, because I don't want to leave any team out, even if it is the WNBA or it was MLS or whatnot. I know they're considered, uh, not one of the big four, but I give credit where credit is due, even if it is, not one of the big four, or if you count five, the MLS. All right, uh, for you, uh, for you Celtics fans out there, well, Daniel Daniel Gallinari has picked up a $6.8 million option to return to the Celtics next season, as told by Mark Thielen of XL Sports. Just my rotten luck. Having nearly reached a full recovery from the torn ACL in his left knee that caused him to miss the entire season. Gallinari will make his Celtics debut this season and is expected to play a sizable role for the Celtics. I don't even like to say the name. He was injured when playing and for Italy last year in the FIBA qualifying game last August. The FIBA World Cup is this year. He signed a 2-year deal worth $13.3 million in the last offseason. That included a player option for the second season. So, guys, do you think that when coming back, maybe the Celtics can rebound from that horrible Game 7 loss against Miami in the conference finals? Do you think maybe this is what they were missing? Yeah. Aha. It's okay. Right. Yes. Right. Yes. Yeah. Okay, on to the next show. Next thing, MLB. I'm glad they're not doing this. They are not going to be using robot umpires next season. Thank goodness. Commissioner Rob Manfred said the automatic ball strike system being used in AAA is not going to be used in the majors next season. So that means robots are not having a short circuit during games. Thank goodness. I think there is some sentiment. Thank you. Game called because the robot had a short circuit diffused. Oh no. Okay. Yeah. What is this now? The Jetsons or something? Okay. So anyway, I think there's some sentiment among the group that we made a lot of changes here, said Manfred at the owners' meeting. We ought to let the dust settle and clearly unresolved operational issues with the ABS, despite all testing there and still have issues to be resolved. Defending a computerized strike zone is one of the main issues. The Atlantic and Independent League tried it during the All-Star game in 2019 and used it in the Arizona Fall League. The ABS was used in 8 of 9 ballparks at low A Southeast leagues rather, in 2021 and moved up to AAA in 2022. Half the AAA games were used by robot umpires, and the other half was used by human umpires that are subject to appeals to teams by the ABS. Can you imagine that happening in a game? Sorry, a robot just short circuit. We have to delay the game for about an hour. Excuse me, while I recharge the circuits. Oh boy. If it's gonna come to that, baseball is gonna be ruined. Ugh. I can't. Did they mention Maryland? Did they mention a name though? Did they mention a name? Okay. Right. Okay. Okay. Mike, are you okay now? Okay, good. I'm glad everything's all cleared up now. It's all clear. Mike is perfectly normal now. I wish I was. Oh, yeah. Right. Well, his telephone was actually invented by a robot and it short circuited too. So, first base, first your phone, now robot umpires. What's this world coming to? I don't know. Oh boy. Then again, yes, yes. Well, thank you. Hello, Deborah. Welcome to the show. Great, great. Nice to have you aboard. I appreciate it, Steve. And I owe you a debt thanks too for taking over after Eric's passing and another coast just didn't work out well. So I'm glad you stepped in, and it makes the show worthwhile because it would have been a mess if I didn't get somebody to once the passing of Eric. But I'm glad you're here. You got it. Okay. So for you Yankee fans out there, you're probably thinking, okay, what's wrong with Judge? Okay, well, he received a second plasma injection on his right toe sprain, but continues to make progress on an injury that has sidelined him for the second time this season. Now you're wondering why he hasn't hit that many home runs? Now you know. The hit They hit another ligament and was still giving him some soreness, said by Aaron Boone, as they begin a 3-game series against a certain team in the Eastern Division I'm not going to mention here. Hint, hint. So likely nothing to do with baseball. Yes, thank you. So likely nothing to do with baseball for the next 48 hours. He is feeling much better. He banged his right toe as he made a catch while crashing into the right field fence in a victory over the Dodgers back on June 3rd. And that's going to hurt, guys. In other injury news, Boone said that outfielder Harrison Bader, with a strained right hamstring, will make at least 2 more appearances in rehab games that could return by Tuesday. However, for pitcher Carlos Rodon, with a strained left forearm, he begins rehab starts at Somerset, New Jersey, and could need at least 3 starts over there before returning. Mike and Diane, you're familiar with that ballpark there in Somerset, New Jersey, as well as I am, correct? Somerset, Somerset Patriots, and I happen to like that team. Yes, Somerset Patriots. Good baseball team. Good baseball and a great stadium. If you guys ever got to New Jersey, check out that stadium. Okay, so lefty Nestor Cortez might be able to start pitching again by this weekend, but don't expect him back until probably after the All Star break. Boone did not rule out a return for just before the All Star break, but it's iffy at this point. When asked if surgery would be needed, would be ruled out at this point, Boone said he was unsure, but hopes that the injection will avoid those discussions. And I, for one, hope so too. Oh boy! Now you can see why the Yankees are in third place and struggling to get past the Rays. Ugh. I mean, the Rays seem to have our number for the last few years. So I'm just yeah. And for you Kansas City Chief fans out there, they celebrated their Super Bowl victory with a private ring ceremony on Thursday night. Yes, Jimmy? Yeah. Okay. Oh, wait till you hear more about this, guys. This is the interesting part first. It gets only better. Listen carefully. Listen closely. While quarterback Patrick Mahomes won't wear his ring out in public that often, it doesn't mean he won't cherish it. That's what you work for to get Super Bowl rings, said Mahomes, before the Chiefs handed out the rings in a private ceremony at Union Station. They last a lifetime, and to be able to see them, I know they've done a great job with them. I helped them get with the creating process. Now, here's what happened with the rings. Okay, well now they got two of them. According to the company that made these rings, each one contains. Listen to this, guys. 613 diamonds, 609 that are round, and four that are of marquise. 35 rubies, and a total 16.1 carats. What do you make of that? I'm not surprised with the reaction. Oh boy, yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, Diane, in your response, what would the fox say about that? Yeah, yeah. She's not going to do it. Thank goodness. For those of you who don't know, we share a lot of the same bad humor, so that was just a little bit for a cue for her. Okay. All right. So, oh, I know something we didn't do last week, so I'm going to take care of this right now, as it's the last week of the USSL season. So, we'll take predictions for the remaining games here. Actually, we had one game today, which was a disaster, as New Jersey got bombed. Ugh, yuck. As New Jersey lost to, yes, as New Jersey had lost to Pittsburgh. Ugh, what a mess. All right. Did anybody take New Jersey over Pittsburgh in the USFL game? I know I did. I'm sorry I did. Boy, were we stupid. Yeah, we got killed. Ugh. All right. So, all right. Is there anybody that did not take New Jersey? Please say aye. Okay. Okay. That means the rest of you. Okay. Okay. So Birmingham and Memphis. All right. I'm gonna take Memphis. All right. Steve, what about you? Birmingham. All right. Right. Gerald. All right. Matt. No opinion. Okay. Maryland. Jimmy. Hmm. All right. And Diane. I'm taking Memphis. Jimmy, are you there? Birmingham. Jimmy. Okay. Yes. Okay. Okay. Now for tomorrow's games, and this is the finales. Okay, New Orleans at Houston. Steve, let's start that with you. New Orleans at Houston, or New Orleans, I should say. All right. Jimmy, Diane, Mike, Gerald, uh, Maryland. All right. Matt. Nothing. Okay. But I wonder who Ralph would take. Never mind. I can't answer that. I can't ask people who are not here. And finally, Philadelphia at Michigan. All right, I'm taking Philadelphia. All right, Steve. All right, Gerald. Philadelphia and Michigan. All right. Okay, Maryland. All right, Diane. Mike. Right. Um, did I get you, Jimmy? Okay, yeah, I'm gonna take Philadelphia too. All right. Yeah, I'm sure. And it's the last week of the regular season, and then the playoffs start next week. Well, at least they made it through another year, guys. That's all I can say. At least that was good. Yeah, sure. I can try. I have a little trouble with that, but I'll see what I can do. Hmm. I better have some help with that. So we'll take care of that. So as I said, Ricky Fowler, he has 62, and he pushed his tee shot in 5-8 per hole on Thursday, and that was a great score, but it did not last long as Shefley um, evened up with 8 birdies in the first round a half hour later. So this is going to be quite a bow in the U.S. Open, and that's actually my favorite major of the year, to be honest with you. Yeah, yeah. Or as I would to call it, or as I would to call it, the Father's Day Classic. Well, I mean, it is. I mean, it is played during Father's Day weekend. So I call it the Father's Day Classic. Yeah, yeah. All right. Okay. More hockey news here. The Blackhawks have locked up their top scorers, agreeing to a 2-year, $8.5 million deal with forward Andreas Athanasiou. Oh, I wish Taylor was here. He's a big fan of that. Or, as I used to say, Andreas is happy to see you too. Just a joke, folks. Just a joke. Athanasiou tied the team with 20 goals and ranked third with 40 points this season for the Blackhawks, which, by all accounts, was just completely, well, awful because the Blackhawks were awful this year. Oof. He matched career highs with 4 game-winning goals and 3 power play goals. So he's making a dinner. He has Athens C was 125 goals and 111 assists in 459 career games for the Kings, Blackhawks, Oilers, and the Red Wings. The Blackhawks this season were a disaster at 26, 49, and 7. Like I said, miserable. The Blackhawks felt the Blackhawks dealt Patrick Kane to the Rangers prior to the trade deadline and announced in April that he would not resign with the team. And Jonathan Toews also parting with 2 players who led them to 3 Stanley Cups in 2010, 2013, and 2015. 2010 being the most unusual goal I've ever seen, as nobody even saw it happen. It was called the Phantom Goal. It was that unreal. Kind of like with the Bobby Orr goal in 1972, leaping into the air. Of course, I didn't remember seeing that live, but I saw some footage of it. And like, well, as Al Michael said in one football game, he did what? So that was one of those moments. He did what? Leaping into the air, like it, like it, like that. Yeah, like Jordan on skates. All right, maybe not, but you get the idea. So we have the on that, and hopefully next week I'll have predictions on who's going next year. Oh, and don't forget next week NBA draft news because the draft will be this weekend. So we'll have a recap of that next week. So you basketball fans out there, you might want to call in. So just to give you a heads up on that. Yes. Now I think I can cover all of that, but when the NHL does their draft in 2 weeks, I cannot go through every team player because that would take about till 3 weeks from now to get it all done. So we'll just do like the first round and selected picks from the drafts. Okay. The Rays are the first major league team to reach 50 wins this season. Yuck. And for the A's, splitting the 4 games series was baseball's best team spell success. At 50 and 22, the Rays reached 50 wins, the fewest in franchise history. 50 wins fewest in franchise, and is tied for the second fastest in any team reaching 50 wins in the last 20 years. Luke Raley hit the go-ahead solo home run in the eighth, and it was enough to give the Rays a 4-3 win over the A's. Rays rookie top prospect Tajay Bradley struck out 6 batters in the first 6 batters, and then struck out 11 in total, surrendering Seth Brown's tying 2 single in the fifth. Sure, the Rays are pleased with the wins total at this stage of the season. That sounds really good, said by Kevin Cash. But I'm looking forward to getting out of here in this dump. The A's hold the base in the seventh against former A's pitcher Jake Diekman, only for the defense to make a brilliant play. Brown hit a grounder, clocking in at near 108 miles per hour. That second baseman Taylor Walls fled to fire to home to save a run that Francisco Machehi threw to first for an inning-ending double play. Robert Stevenson came in for Diekman to get the final out. In the seventh, right-hander Pete Fairbanks returned from the 15-day injured list with left hip inflammation in his 6th save of the year. Ugh. Just unreal, though. 50 wins already, and it's only like the 73rd game of the year. And the Orioles are not the Orioles they used to be, as they're doing well, much to everybody's surprise. Yeah. Depends who you ask. Yeah. Okay. All right. So, but we had a scary moment in baseball last night. Um, I mean, it wasn't, anything of life-threatening conditions, but still a scary moment nonetheless. As Red Sox pitcher Tyler Hokic had a scary moment in last night's win over the Yankees as he was struck in the face by a line drive. Now, the good news is he didn't lose consciousness, said by Alex Cora, but he did have to go to the hospital and get treatment, and we should know about more his condition later on. The Red Sox had the game. The Red Sox had the game in the bag. They were up considerably by the fifth inning, and Kyle Hasakawa led off the inning and fell 1-2 before lining Hoek's 92-mile-per-hour pitch up the middle and hit Hoek in the cheek. Hasakawa, I think he did score a pennant-clinching home run not that long ago, if I remember correctly, for the Giants. That was something. He then was on the ground for a while, for a few minutes, as he was attended by athletic trainers. His face is bleeding, but was able to get up under his own power. I mean, that's got to be remarkable, though, when you get up under your own power, even though you were bleeding. Unreal. Yeah. Well, he's at the hospital getting tests done. He covered his nose with a towel and raised his fist to the crowd as he walked down the steps to the dugout and was replaced by Joe Jacques. He gave up 1 run on 4 hits with 2 strikeouts and a walk. He should be okay. I don't think it was anything. Like I said, he didn't lose consciousness. It wasn't really severe. But that's still a scary moment to see getting hit. Almost, almost as scary as a play-by-play man in the booth getting hit by a ball last week. Oof, as that happened. I mentioned that last week, and that was a Yankee broadcaster. More injury news. Gio Urshela suffered a left pelvis fracture. The team said yesterday, and heads to the 10-day injured list. Ugh. Somewhere I can find an elbow stroke in that too. Okay, Urshela has missed the previous 4 games with back soreness, but fell awkwardly in Thursday's game against the Rangers. He was on crutches after the game, and X-rays revealed the fracture. Third baseman Anthony, Third baseman Anthony Rendon was held out of the game versus the Royals as he had soreness in his left wrist. Rendon was hit by a pitch in the first inning. Though he did stay in the game, he did not take a swing. X-rays were negative, but he's now listed as day-to-day. And the Royals now have the worst streak in baseball as they've now lost 10 straight games. But then again, it is the Royals. Uh, yeah. Yeah. When it rains, it pours, doesn't it, guys? Yeah. So to comment on the death of Ray Lewis, just to update us, um, his younger brother Rashawn posted about his siblings' death on Instagram. The details were not known at the time I wrote this. He is the Ray Lewis III, like his father, played college ball at Miami. The younger was a running back at his home state of Florida, and later played at cornerback for Coastal Carolina, then at Virginia Union. The elder Lewis for the Ravens played from '96 to 2012, winning 2 Defensive Player of the Year titles in 2000 and 2013, and 2 Super Bowl titles in 2000 and 2012. And I remember them both. Wow. Just a shame, though. Especially if you lose a son. Yeah. Uh, yeah. And another tragedy happened in the world of sports. This is one involving an Arkansas recruit player, Dion Struts, was killed in an ATV crash back on Wednesday. 18 years old. Panola County Sheriff um, Shane Phillips told multiple outlets that Struts crashed in his family's property in Batesville, Mississippi. He was a 3-star recruit who made his commitment to the Razorbacks back in March as part of the class of 2024, and was also part of his high school wrestling team. Just awful. Hmm. Okay, some of you are having problems with your phones. Okay. No, no, someone. No. Yeah, 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 yeah. Uh, well, that's a problem right there. Uh, yeah. It's just it's just strange what some of these people are doing. Okay, I got some W. That's the problem. Nobody's invincible. See, that's what people don't understand. You're not No, you're not above the law, you're not invincible, and I think Gerald's having a rainstorm, I think. Yeah, there's some pretty serious weather going on in Texas, I think I get it. So, that's why I think he's having problems. I think there's I think there's like oh, yeah. Remember, they're going through a ridiculous heat wave too. Ugh. So, Mercury center Brittany Griner was doubtful for last night's game against the Mystics. She missed the second half in their loss Tuesday against the Storm as a result of an injury. She played 9 minutes in the first half and only scored 2 points. Was 1 for 5 shooting with 2 rebounds. As you all know, Griner had missed every game last season as she was detained in a Russian prison for all that season and was released prior to Christmas. Just a shame though. That was but I'm glad she's back home because there was no need for her to be locked up like that for that long. Okay, then. No rain then, so it must be some other kind of problem. Okay. No, I thought it was a rainstorm. I thought it was rain coming down. Gerald, what's wrong then? Your phone was like breaking up. I guess breaking business is so hard to do. Oh no. Okay, never mind. Ugh. Not a very smart move. You gotta be careful. Gotta be careful with that. Okay, so here's something that you oh no, I think I did that one last week. The NBA is going to provide maybe coach with a second coaching challenge, which I think is a good move because I think it's going to keep more men with the game because a bad call like that can really ruin the game with that. So I'm glad they're going to be able to do that if it's successful next season because that bad call can really be the outcome of the game. So I'm glad they're going to use a second challenge. Okay, the A's cleared a major hurdle for their planned relocation to Vegas after the Nevada state legislature gave final approval on Thursday night to public funding for a proportion of a proposed $1.5 billion stadium that includes, get this, guys, a retractable roof. So no more rain delays, we think. The deal backers said they will help establish Vegas with a new entertainment and sports capital, sports capital of the world. It still needs the governor's signature, and MLB still must approve the A's move from Oakland to Vegas, but I think, it's just a formality. The state assembly approved the final version bill of $380 million in taxpayer money, 23 to 15 vote after making minor changes to measure the Senate approved 13-8 vote last Tuesday, just hours before the Knights won the cup. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's more. Okay. Yeah, they approved the challenge. The state Senate accepted the challenge without debate on a vote on Thursday and sent it to the governor's desk. An emergency measure adopted during the special session that concluded with Democrat majorities in both houses on June 7th. Governor Joe Lombardo had proposed the stadium spending plan. The governor's office did not respond right away to request comments, of course, from the Associated Press. Ooh, you turn down the Associated Press. Ooh, that's a big one. The A Senate, yeah, well, that's highly respectable, the publication. The A Senate statement released by the team that they look forward to the signing as our next step as they work to bring the A's to Vegas. Well, let's hope they have better luck in Vegas than they do in Oakland. Yeah. Hmm. Of course, you have when McGwire was part of that team. That's when the A's were good. Yeah. Oh, Gerald, I got some news for you concerning the SEC. This is big. Every SEC team will play Oklahoma or Texas in 2024 as they make their SEC debuts. The SEC released their 2024 schedule back on Thursday. It's not even 2023's season yet. You're doing next year already? Come on. Um, they'll feature notable matchups such as Alabama versus Georgia, Georgia versus Texas, and Texas versus Oklahoma. Last month, the SEC voted to scrap two divisions and approve a temporary 8-game conference schedule for 2024. SEC Commissioner Greg Sankey, who hinted his preference at a 9-game schedule, said the league will continue to explore scheduling options for 2025 and beyond that. A long-term 8-game conference schedule will include one permanent opponent, keeping rivalries like Alabama and Georgia alive while eliminating such other rivalries as Alabama versus Tennessee, Auburn versus Georgia, and Ole Miss versus LSU. I don't know. I kind of like Alabama versus Tennessee. I mean, they did pull up an upset against them not that long ago. Some of these matchups I like. I mean, some of this I agree with. Some of them I do not. So, Gerald, being you're the SEC fan around here, what do you make of this? All right. Any other SEC fans in the house? No. Okay. Oh yeah, yeah. Yes. Yes. Uh, you people are ruining college football. No more Big 12. Yeah. 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 No, no. No. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Yes. That is. That is. I'm not either. I'm not either. Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah. No. Hmm. Big Ten. Big Ten. Yeah. The contract. Yes. It will be. It's only a formality, Matt. Yeah. Yes. Good luck with that one. Right. Okay. All right, so I gotta move on. We're only got about a few minutes left. So in this week in history, it's okay. This week in history, going back to 1880 in a team that doesn't exist anymore, Providence Grays MLB pitcher John Ward throws a perfect game beating the Buffalo Bisons 5-0. Second perfect game in National League in 6 days. The next one takes 84 years. Go figure that out. 84 years between perfect games. All right. 1954, Rocky Marciano beats Ezzard Charles by unanimous points decision in his third World Heavyweight Boxing title defense at Yankee Stadium. Yes, they held fights in Yankee Stadium back then. 1953, most runs scored in one inning was 17 by the Red Sox. Ugh, yuck. 1960, Ted Williams hits home run number 500. 1962, Lou Brock is second to home run into Polo Grounds at right field center bleachers. U.S. Open 1962, Jack Nicklaus wins his first major, 3 strokes in 18 playoff hole against Arnold Palmer. The best of the best. 1976, as the end of the ABA era, the Nets, Pacers, Nuggets, and Spurs joins forces into the NBA. 1970, I remember this very well. Ron Guidry sets the Yankee record with 18 strikeouts in one game. I remember that. Yeah. Boy, do I ever. 1988, Givens family reports Mike Tyson beats up his wife Robin Givens. Oh, forget it. 1990, the U.S. beats Guatemala 2-1 in the third round of the 1990 World Cup. Oh yeah, that's right. 1990, Hale Irwin wins his third Open title. Defeats Mike Donald at the 91st hole in the first sudden death after tying the 18-hole Monday playoff. Wow. 1991, Payne Stewart wins a Monday playoff with 87 champion Scott Simpson. No relation to Bart. 1992, Philadelphia 76ers traded Charles Barkley to the Phoenix Suns, and the Sixers have not been the same since. 1994, yeah, OJ and that nonsense. Just was ready to watch the Knick game. You had to pull in that, you dirty no good. Okay. 1985, WLAF World Bowl III Olympic Stadium. Frankfurt beats Amsterdam 26-22. Oh boy, that league, yeah. 1997, the NHL announces will add Nashville in 98, Atlanta in 1999, and Minneapolis, St. Paul, and Columbus in 2000. Well, unfortunately, Atlanta didn't last long. Again. In 2010, defending champion Lakers beat Celtics 83-79 in Game 7 for the franchise's 16th NBA title, the MVP, the late, great Kobe Bryant. Yeah. I still am. I still am. Yeah. Yeah. So I think we covered a lot today. I do want to thank everybody for tuning in. Like I said, this was a momentous occasion. I want to thank Alan. You were still here. That's I mean, it's kind of hard to get everybody in all at one time at 4:05, but that's expected. Yeah. Otherwise, it'd be a little bit too crowded. But I do want to thank everybody for coming in. Alan came in. Ralph, thank you for coming in as well. Thank Mom and my sister. Wow, we had a good crowd. Hmm, very good crowd. So thanks. Remember this yes, and Mike and Diane. I remember Mike and Diane knew this from the beginning because they were with me when I first started. Back in that yep, back in that small apartment, that small area in South Orange, New Jersey, and I think I've come a long way since then. But I couldn't do it alone. I I couldn't do this alone. It's been yes, Mike, congratulations on yes, congratulations on that. Job well done. As yes, as his team won the Special Olympics, so we're proud of that too. I knew I was gonna let that go. Thanks though, Mike, for reminding me. Yes, yes. Congratulations to that as that season wrapped up. Um, so I want to thank everybody for coming in. Remember next week NBA draft coverage. So get with that. Oh, and college baseball. Who do you got, guys? Yeah, yeah. Stan- By the way, Stanford is winning against Wake Forest right now. I'm gonna take Stanford, and I'm gonna take Tennessee in the next. No, I'm gonna go with LSU. But you gotta give Oral Roberts credit, though. I mean, they weren't expected to do anything, and now they're in the fight. And now they're creeping in and could pull off the big upset in the College Baseball World Series. So next week we'll take care of that as well. Right. All right, guys. So on that note, I'm gonna get out of here. Marilyn, I'll join you in a little while with Rasol in a few minutes. So stay tuned for that. Yeah. So then we'll take care of business as usual next week. Same time, same station. And I thank you all for a great show. And we'll talk again next week. So on that note, have a good week. Wait a minute. Oh, just about. Yeah.
How'd it go?
I think it went well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Did Anthony call you?
No.
Oh, he left him a message, but I don't know if you got it or not.
Okay.
Okay. Raise your
Oh, the, hmm.